Hello my friends. I'm going to be doing some varnishing today, so I thought I'd make a video and show you how I do it. I've mentioned before how I do it, but thought I would actually show you. But first, let me just show you how I finish off my paintings. I just initial the front, and on the back I will put the title and my full name, add a business card with double-sided tape. I use D-rings for hanging, and you always want to make it, this is a little close. I like to make it about 2 inches below the top of the canvas there, but this won't show, but you want it to clear the wood so it hangs nicely on the wall. And then for a final touch, if you want, I like to add these little felt pads in the corners, the bottom corners, just to cushion the wall a bit. And that's it. Always tape the ends of your wires so you don't hurt anybody. I get a kit online that uses the D-rings, the screws, and these nice little crimp things. So you just, here's the wire, and you just slide one of these crimpy deals on the wire, put it through your D-ring, slide it back through the crimp, and then use pliers and squeeze it together so it's nice and sturdy, and then tape the ends. So it's nice and neat and very easy to do. So that's how I finish off my paintings. And one other tiny little tip. As I said, I just initial the front. What is that? Oh, well. And I use a white gel pen on some things, but if it's too vivid, like that would be, too bright, then I go over the white lettering with a colored gel pen. This comes in quite an assortment of colors, any color that kind of complements the painting. So I chose this color, I thought went well, and it tones down the initials. They're still there, but not quite so in your face. So there you go. That's ready to send. Oh, I should show you what I do. Well, I sandwich the painting in between foam core board. You know that stuff. I don't have any. Oh, here's some. This foam core board. And it's squishy, and it's very lightweight. And of course, I'd use a full sheet and unused. So I sandwich it in between on front and back. And then I might wrap it in bubble wrap, but that's not even necessary. I make it a little bigger than the canvas and use blue tape to wrap around. And it's lightweight and easy to mail. If you got a small enough painting, you could put it in a unused pizza box. They're very sturdy. I buy them at the my favorite pizza store, and then I turn them inside out so it's a plain brown box and pop it in there, and it works really well, especially for round canvases. So that's that. So let me clear the deck here and get set up for varnishing, and we'll get to work. Okay, I'm back. I think I'm ready to do this. So I use a mixture of Liquitex, gloss varnish, and water. It says do not thin on here, but I've been doing this for years without any problem, and so I do thin it. I use 1/2 Liquitex, 1/2 water, and I store it in this little disposable container. I haven't varnished in a month or more, so it does last. I measure how much I want, and just randomly I chose that amount in this little cup. I'm just going to add more because I don't want to run out during my video. So I'm going to fill it up to that line there with varnish. If you're going to just eyeball it, it's better to have a little more varnish than water, since they say to not dilute it. But as I said, I've not had any problem diluting it. And then I add same amount water. and give it a nice stir. Then I use little squares of an old t-shirt because they're lint-free and soft. It's going to be my tool to apply the varnish. That should do it. Cover that up while I do one other thing. I've got 8 paintings here to varnish, and that's a good number, 8 or more, because by the time you put one coat on all 8 of them, the first one is ready to put a second coat on. And I have mentioned this before, but I will tell you and show you that the first 2 or 3, maybe even 4 layers look bad, and you're going to think, this is not working. I've ruined my painting. But trust me, it will get okay. It will become clear that it works. Suddenly, after maybe the 4th or 5th coat, it looks good. And then you just keep going, apply as many coats as you want. This one, as you can see, it's quite shiny, and that one I would say has probably 10 coats on there. And that sounds like a lot, but really when you're doing a lot of paintings at once, it goes really fast, and you'll be happy. You just stop when you've reached the shine you want. You don't have to go that shiny. Now let me show you quickly. So I do tape off the backs of my canvases because I just prefer a neat edge as possible. I left a little on there. I have no fingernails. Then I put the tags, I'll come back to that. That's not going to be a problem. I do put the tacks back in the holes so it lifts it off the surface, so nothing sticks to the tabletop. Okay. So we're going to start with Sea Witch here. When I did this video, I had it facing me, but look at that fun profile there. I'm really happy with the way this one came out. Now this one has not cured all that long. I think it's only been under 2 weeks. Now generally you'll want to let them cure longer, but it depends kind of on the technique. If you were to do like a flip cup or a ring pour, the application of paint is thicker, but this is quite thin, and I haven't had a problem doing it about 2 weeks later. But I'm such a procrastinator that generally my paintings have sat around for a couple months before I get to varnishing, so it's never an issue. I've never had any problem. So wear a glove because you don't want to be, you don't want this stuff on your hands. So here we go. Taking one of my squares. I'm sure you can see this, right? Can you see this? Yes. Just dip it in. I kind of squeeze the excess off, or not. And then I just start applying in circular motions. There's a hair. That might have been in the original. It's not coming off. Oh well, that happens. And dip in as necessary. There's another one. Not off to a very good, graceful start here. This way you have no brush marks, and that's it. Don't go over it again. And now I can see there are circular indications, but not a problem. Those will all get hidden. So now I'm going to set that aside and move on. Now, embellished pieces, I like to, if I think of it, put one coat of matte varnish on there, spray, and this is for oil and acrylic, so if any of you paint in oils on top of your acrylic pours, this is a great one. You know, works for both acrylic and oil. And I give one light coat outside, of course, to protect it before I start the varnishing. I didn't do it on this. I did it on the dog portrait I showed you earlier, but I haven't done it on any of these other ones I'm doing today. So it's not necessary, but it's just an extra precaution. And see, nothing's coming up here. This is dried sufficiently. Now, some canvases take, on the edges, I don't remember if I did the edges on that Sea Witch, but I'll get it on the next pass. Now this was done, I didn't do a video on this, but I've done many videos on this type of background, and I used silicone, and I didn't clean it off. I forgot. So I haven't had any problem. I do that frequently. So I haven't found it to be an issue. So there's that one. Oh, here's a good example. This one I started varnishing. This one probably has 3 coats of varnish on it, maybe 4. And then I don't know if you can see, but you can't see anything on there other than some texture in the original painting. So that's good. So now I'm going to continue, put a few more on. And I use gloss varnish, but I don't always make it, if I want a satin look, I'll only put maybe 4 or 5 coats on. Once I get rid of these circular, what do I call them? Patterns that happen because of the application. Once I get rid of those, then I can either stop or keep going depending on the level of shiny. All right, so that's that. This one's only been dry, the embellishment for a week or so, but it seems to be okay. Side. So we're already almost halfway there. Now this guy, I just painted this not long ago, maybe 4 days ago. Let's see if he's ready. I might be jumping the gun here, but my t-shirt's pretty clean there. Let's see if any paint comes up. I'll just kind of test it here. No, I'm just gonna be very gentle with my circular motions here. This has been dry for a long time, but the octopus I just added. Now this one is one that I'm going to want very, very shiny. This background was Prism Pour paints and just kind of a bunch of leftovers. I didn't do a video, and it just instantly looked like an undersea scene to me, and I've always wanted to paint an octopus. Let me turn towards you. And so I did. So I'll want this one very shiny. And I just noticed that I didn't paint the edges. I forgot to touch up the corners. But I can come back and do that later. So that's number 5. So we're more than halfway done with our first layer. Here's the elephant I finished up. Happy with the way he came out, and he is already sold, going to a home in Colorado where he will reside with several of my other animal paintings. One of my wonderful best collectors, Jean, lives there, and she loves animals, and she is also a very good painter of pouring and embellishing. So, oops, that's not good. This is one where I should have used my spray on there first. But that happens. I don't see that it's really lifting up, and this will happen occasionally. I'm going to set this one aside though, because it is kind of a special one, and I'm going to let that, I will probably spray it, and I'm going to also set this aside and get a fresh one. I'm glad that happened actually, because it's important that you see if you rush it. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, but maybe not that long. Okay, this one has a bit of a shine to it because there was Liquitex in the mix. And I did not clean any silicone off, and I did use silicone on this. I'm not going to. You have to if you resin or something. I don't resin, but you have to remove every speck of that. But I really have never found this to be a problem with this varnish. There's a little blue coming off. Blue and red seem to take forever. And again, this there's a thicker application of paint on here. But it'll stop doing that after you get your first 1 or 2 coats on, and I'll show you that. I'll use a clean part of the t-shirt. Okay, let's set that one there. What else? 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this one. I'll go to a clean part and see how this one is. Seems to be okay. This is the scary part, because this was the most work over here. It's doing fine though. I did the cliffs there with a palette knife, and the rest of course was brush painted. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see, but there you could see where I've left some bare spots on the canvas, but I'm not going to go back. I'm going to let it dry. Okay, that's all. Now let's go back to, this one is dry, ready for another coat. So by going over it again and again and again, you'll catch any bare spots that you may have left on the canvas. You need to reload depending on how big the canvas is. But thin layers is the secret. Okay, that's ready to set aside. Oh, I don't know what order I went in. I think it was this one. And I usually initial after I've done varnishing, because I often forget. This one I did ahead of time, but it's not showing up very well, so I may correct it after it's all varnished. Kind of do it all one step with the wiring, initialing, signing, etc. I should lay these in the order I've done. I have a a show coming up, featured artist show. I've shown you a few of those in May here. So that's what I'm preparing for with all these embellished ones, although if somebody wants to buy it ahead of time, that would be fine with me. There's more where they came from. And I'm doing just what I told you not to do. I'm not going over it again, but as long as you do it quick, you're okay, but don't do that. Do as I say, not as I do. Let's see. This one, I don't want it super shiny. I could stop there, but I will add one more coat. They make a satin varnish as well, which you can use if you don't want it quite as shiny, but I just usually always use the gloss, and then I just stop sooner if I don't want it super shiny. All right, I think that one is done. Can you see the nice sheen to it? Okay. Now this one, I'm upset with myself for spending, this took a long time to with myself for spending so much time on this one because it was an inexpensive canvas. Just one of those value pack ones stapled back, you know, but I'm going to put it in a nice frame to dress it up, but I don't like to embellish on inexpensive canvases for the work that goes into it. I prefer gallery wrapped like this. But c'est la vie. This one I do want very shiny. I probably said that already. It's going to have a little sparkle to it because this the background is the Prism Pour paints, so it has a nice little shimmer. I did that one, right? Yeah. I think. Oh wait, this one. I'm sure I did this one before the seascape. I think cells are so fun to do once in a while. I think this was the last one I did, but I might revisit. Do another one. Well, this is pretty boring, isn't it, folks? I think maybe I'll do this one and then I'll stop and I will continue because this is all I do. I just keep going and I'll show you the final pieces. Okay, all right, just for fun, let me test. So this is dry, the first coat is dry. Let me test with this gray one, a clean spot, and see if it's still coming up. If it is, I will stop, but if it isn't, I'm going to keep going. No, I think it's okay. I think that first one, that first coat was enough to protect it. Woo! Thank you. keep checking. I love a swipe background for embellished pours. It's an interesting background, but it doesn't detract from the main subject, I think. And I didn't, as I said, I didn't do this one on video, but I've done a lot of videos with this mix. This happened to be Artist Loft Ready to Pour paints, which I extend with a glue and Floetrol mix, and then I use 1 drop of silicone in my swipe color, and that's what I get. So I'm very happy with that. But yeah, let me stop now, my friends, and finish up my varnishing, and then I will return with the final products. Okay, I've finished. Let me quickly show you everything, and then I would like to get your opinion on something. So here's the seascape. I have a light over here so you can see the level of sheen. I think this was about 6 coats. This was 5, I believe. This one I did stop after I showed you initially, so it's a little bit less shiny. This one is quite shiny. I put maybe 8 coats on here, but it had a head start. It was already shiny, as I said, because of the Liquitex in the pouring medium. But you can see that is shinier. Here's the Sea Witch. I think that was 6 coats. Enough to pick up the beautiful metallics in there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Did I show this one? Maybe 5 coats. This one, I think I did 5. Goes like this. And lastly, this one. Now, this one, as I said, was an inexpensive canvas, and it took more coats. I probably put 10 on there, and it's still not quite as shiny as I'd like it. I might do some more, but it's pretty good. And I had mentioned that I forgot to touch up the edges, but I also forgot that I plan to frame it, so I don't have to worry about that. So the question is, what kind of frame? I will put a link down below to my frame source. I don't buy too much anymore because I'm trying to just go to the gallery wrapped, so they don't require a frame. But these staple back ones, I think they're just not suitable as is. Well, at least at my gallery, I can't submit anything like that without it being framed. So this is the only black frame I have. This painting, which I really quite like, but it's been for sale for a long time. Nobody's interested, so I could put it in this frame. So what do you think? That or the framing place sent me some frames by mistake that I don't care for. I think they look like they look like vomit, metallic vomit. But somehow I'm not bothered by it on this painting. What do you think? So either black or vomit. What do you like best? Black, or we'll call it gold. I shouldn't call it vomit. Nobody's going to want to buy it then. Gold or black? Let me know in the comments below what you think. I hope you found this video helpful, and I look forward to doing a pour in the next one. Thanks for watching, my friends. Bye.